Hello and welcome to The Telescope. Every week we bring you a fresh insight from the biggest car market in the world. How many times have you heard the PPE platform from the Volkswagen Group being delayed? Because of software, because of supply chain, because of battery, again and again. And whatever has come out of the PPE platform, they're all quite expensive. But what if a top German manufacturer can have access to a mature EV platform from China? So the software is a turnkey solution. All of the major hardware, the motor and the battery, are from China. So to quote the favorite word from the American press, overcapacity, abundant supply. Welcome to the first fruit of the cooperation between Audi and SAIC. That's Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation. It's an Audi, but without the four rings. It's 100% designed in Germany, but using SAIC's platform. First of all, this imposing mouth. Now, in the pictures, this mouth looks too big and potentially too thick for a low-riding saloon. I have to say, Audi didn't do itself any favors by having a lot of low camera position shots looking upward, making this mouth look even bigger than what it actually is. But looking at the real car, looking down at this nose, it's not as imposing as what it is in the pictures. It's okay, but also I have to say, this is very smart by having this license plate position, but without actually having the green license plate. The post-production guy, please Photoshop a Shanghai green license plate onto this. It will destroy this face. At the side, these are very powerful wheel arches, both at the front and at the back. The reason this car can have such big wheel arches is because this car is 1990 millimeters wide, an almost 2-meter wide car. I don't understand all these 2-meter wide cars. Maybe they never need to worry about tight spaces, but this is manufactured in Shanghai, which is a very congested city. But you have to say a wide car looks very good in isolation. The rear of the car is quite successful. The designer of this car also designed the C7 generation Audi RS6. So this looks like a very good looking rear end, right? But you see, throughout this video, up until this point, I have not described this car as a wagon or as an Avant because it isn't. There's a visual trick here. This rear wing hides the actual proportion, the actual body line of this car. The glass, the roof glass of this car already slopes quite sharply downward, but by having this rear wing from the side and from most of the angle, unless you're looking here upwards, from most of the angle, this car looks like a wagon, but it actually isn't. I see this as a new solution to combat the lack of vertical cabin space on the second row. By having this visual trick, the roofline can be raised ever so slightly to give enough room for the second row and still maintain the aerodynamic efficiency. But because this is a show car, we are not allowed to open the boot. And that is my worry.
Because as admitted by the designer himself, this Audi E concept shares a lot of the technical underpinnings with the Iron Motor L6, almost identical wheelbase and very similar performance claims. Definitely looks very impressive on the spec sheet. But, and this is a very big but, the product experience of the Iron Motor L6 is very broken up. It feels like a technical demonstration prototype from a tier 1 supplier like Bosch. Amazing technologies bundled together as a showcase of its capabilities, but not a polished product for people to buy. I was hoping Audi could bring some taste and common sense to the SAIC platform. First of all, taste. Yes, this is a much better design than any Iron Motor offerings. I know design is subjective, but when a difference is this big, you've got to hand it to Audi. But common sense, I'm not so sure. I'll just raise one point. The air springs and the rear wheel steering of the Iron Motor L6 takes up a lot of space. The L6 is over 200 millimeters longer than the Tesla Model 3, but the rear cabin is only marginally bigger. It is nearly 2 meters wide, but the boot is very narrow. The Audi E concept disappointingly inherited everything, which means, in the original words of its product manager, it prioritizes the front cabin, which is another way of saying the rear cabin is not that big for a 2.9 meter wheelbase. And they didn't show us the boot, which means it could be just as narrow as the Iron Motor L6. I really hope I'm wrong here.
When I was told this car is available for us media to see, I had to check the calendar because this cooperation deal was only announced June, July 2023. And now, about 15 months later, in November 2024, this car is already available for us to see, which means we're probably looking at June, July 2025 for this car to enter market. That's 2 years from project initiation to market entry. This kind of speed is unheard of for any German brand. Because funny enough, this following joke is from a German car manufacturer executive. They say, we Germans, whatever we do, we first plan. It's very refreshing to see Audi has woken up to the challenge. I still have some reservations about the car, but at least the work ethic is already there. That is all from the Telescope today. If you enjoyed this video, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.